You follow me too. Hey guys, it is Tuesday and it's the last day for this book. If you watched my Sunday video, I talked about the new series I'm going to be starting on, and I talked about how I might go live on Facebook with it. I haven't decided yet, or I might even do it live here on YouTube. I haven't really decided yet, but I think I'm going to go live on Facebook maybe, and not YouTube. But let's get into finishing off this book. I do not have but 1, 2, 3, I think, 4 pages, and we are done with this book. So let's get started in this book so we can get this book done. If you are new to my channel, we were reading this book. We're almost done. I got this book for $25 at Walmart. You can also maybe go to Trent's website. I don't know, but you can find it somewhere and read the book, and it's pretty good. You're already on your way to creating a great legacy. Okay, so I've been converted you that you want to live a great legacy. But how do you make sure that you do it? Well, that's really what I've been talking about since the beginning of this book. When you stop running away from your battles, you face up to the roadblock that have been preventing you from being the best version of yourself. Instead of trying to stay one step ahead of your troubles, you turn around, face them, do the hard work necessary to end them. You have those tools now, and a person who doesn't run from his or her most important battles is going to leave an extremely valuable legacy. When you figure out what your purpose is and you start building your life to allow you to live that purpose, you're operating on a much higher level than you ever could. Sorry, my eye itched. Ever could. If you went through life without purpose. People who are living their purpose send the message that life is about a whole lot more than running out the clock. That's a great legacy to pass along. And you know how to discover your purpose now. I watched a movie. Excuse me, my nose itched. And they were saying, there's a song called Live Like You Were Dying. I think Tim McGraw sings that song. And you can live your life like you're dying. Like tomorrow you're going to die. Live your life like you're dying. There was a movie about that, and they had Justin Timberlake was in it. And they had this watch on, and it got this time before the world ends. And it was a time clock. Something, I don't remember what it was called, but it's a pretty good movie. When you come to accept that your story okay, never mind. When you figure out what your purpose is and you start building your life to allow you to live your purpose, you're operating on a much higher level than you ever could if you went through life without purpose. People who are living their purpose send the message that life is about a whole lot more running the clock. That's a great legacy to pass along. And when you know how to discover your purpose now, I know I just read that a while ago, but I read it again. It makes a lot of sense. I'm sure a lot of you probably did figure out your purpose. If not, you're still trying to figure out your purpose and why you're here on earth and why you're here and what God has planned for you. When you come to accept that your story can still end even well if you had bad chapters, you're taking control of your situation and taking the step necessary to put an end to the bad part of your story and become the hero. Rather than having the hard stuff in your life define you, you turn those things into an interesting part of your story that makes you trumpet that much sweeter. Then you live a legacy of resilience and preference. You're leaving behind something that absolutely everyone needs. If you've ever seen the movie War Room, she has the Bible in one hand. She goes around the house and she is telling the devil that he cannot have her husband, cannot have her child, cannot take her joy away from her. And she's not going to let it happen as she prays. And I can say right now, I think the devil's working on me, trying to say, oh, you're nothing, you're let me down. But if the devil's is not really actually putting me down, because I am doing God's work, and I'm reading and teaching. Maybe my purpose is that I'm supposed to be a teacher, and maybe my purpose is that he's asking me to read these books to everybody and get everybody to follow him. And you know, like what Trent said in the book, where Trent said that he was to speak to people and teach people. Maybe that's what he has planned for me, and I don't know. When you make a painful decision to burn all of the bridges that don't lead you to being the greatest you're cutting yourself from the effective behavior that has been holding you back. You face up to the reality of where those bridges were leading you, and you decided that you can't go there anymore. If your legacy includes the stories of those choices that had to be made to keep you on your journey, and several as model for others when they revelate in controlment and criticism that aren't healthy for them. When you make others' painful decision this time to dig up all the bad seeds that have been planted around you, you're claiming the people in your life who, emotionally or not, are doing you harm. You're making the decisions between those who are good for you and those that might make you feel good in the moment immediately keeps you from being the greatest you. This is another priceless legacy because you're showing future gratifications that short-term pains is something necessary for long-term gains, and that is the most always best choice. For me, people, let's see, I've been called Mop, I've been called Medusa, I've been called a whore, I've been called all kinds of names. But there's one thing that I've always remembered my grandma always telling me. Get up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you tell yourself, I am beautiful. No matter what anybody says, I'm beautiful. And people have called me ugly before. I used to go around school, circle, circle, dot, dot. Now I got my cootie shots. Did it hurt me? Yes. Did it upset me? Yes, I cried. But like my grandmother said, you're beautiful no matter what. And I always tell myself that no matter what. Every morning I get up, still today, I tell myself, I'm beautiful. With or without makeup, I'm gorgeous. I'm beautiful. I don't, I told my husband before, you think I'm ugly, don't you? You don't love me. He says, I never said that. It's just, your heart feels something that's good and your heart feels things that's wrong. You always can feel when something's wrong and something's going to happen. That's just me. I've always felt like that. When I knew eventually my stepdaughter would move back in. And like now, I have this funny feeling that she's going to lose the job she has or transfer from there to here and see if she can have the job here. And they're going to ask to move in her and her boyfriend. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. But when you're in a marriage or a relationship, it's not just based on one person making the decisions. You both have to make the decisions. When you come to understand that the true beneficiary in forgiveness is not those you forgive, but yourself. You give yourself an invaluable gift, the gift of peace and the gift of freedom. By finally forgiving, you are no longer revealing the troubled things that have been done against you. You're moving on then instead. And when you forgive, you finally grant yourself the freedom to conduct the rest of your life without being haunted by the past. This is a cemetery. No, this is an amazingly valuable legacy to have to others, because if they can understand the importance of forgiveness at a young age, they won't ever have to hear the burdens of holding God. If you have children that I can say are in elementary school, and I'm saying elementary because that's when a lot of kids start getting picked on and bullied. It's usually in elementary, junior high and high school, but mostly people start teasing them in elementary. Because, if you're less fortunate and you can't afford all these high-end clothes, that's what happens. And, you don't have to have high-end makeup. You don't have to have expensive clothes. You don't have to go to Abercrombie. You don't have to go to Guess. You don't have to have Jabot, Gucci. You don't have to have this high-end luxury to live a good life. I don't have it. I mean, yes, I do got some high-end makeup, but I save up my money for it. Or I might ask for something for a birthday or Christmas. For Christmas this past year, I got my ring light I wanted. So when I do my videos, I have more brighter light and it looks better. It was $50-something, $60-something for it. I didn't have to have it. I wanted one, but I was making good videos without light, but I needed more lighting. It's not happen to have a high-end product. It's not a name brand product. I mean, I didn't have to go out and say, oh, I need Tamagotchi the best. The $280 one. I didn't have to have that. I wanted the cheapest one I could find. Any kind would work for me. It didn't have to be name brand or high-end. That's just not me. I mean, I never asked my husband for money. Unless I say, I need $1 to go swimming. That's about it. Or when he goes to work and I need something in the store, I need that coat, I need this, I need this. And, he gets it for me. But I don't ever ask for too much. Sometimes we go shopping, I might put a piece of makeup in the shopping cart or something to that effect, but I deserve it because I've been good. When you take an important step to protect your peace, you give yourself the tool necessary to adhere into your day with the best chance and positive outcome. Instead of starting your day with things that clutter your mind and leave you on the defensive, you begin with something that outlives you, inspires you, and brings you a tiny bit of joy. If a part of your legacy is that you make sure your first project your peace before going into the world, you're modeling the value of this before all who comes after you. When you adopt a championship mindset, you're conversing yourself That's good enough isn't good enough for you. And your participating entails of what prepares you to act like a winner at every important stage in your life. You're acknowledging the importance and surviving the perfect isn't something that you do for a couple of weeks. Every year, but something you commit on an outgoing bliss. You figure generations get that from you and just naturally operate this way of being thankful forever. And when you acknowledge that your relationship is your world and that you need to commit yourself to being a great, having a steady foundation without your life, you are creating a safe space for you and those you love, and you're making your own world the most important world in existence. That's a wonderful legacy to live. And leaving it is many ways a part of doing it in the first place. When you embarrass, for an example, of bones, whatever home might be, you're showing others how to get their pussy right, and when you add all of those up, you provide the most important legacy of all, the greatest you. You show everyone who matters to you, everyone that might someday matter to you, and the people who someday matter to them. That's doing the work necessary to be a vision of yourself, and noble in ways will rotate far into the future. And this, at least, is your highest cure. Being the greatest you will make you from whatever you were when you started this book to a place filled with purpose, corrections, and fulfillment. And if not amazing, though, it will also leave a legacy that you can be proud of leaving and that will benefit so many others for graduations to come. I hope you understand now that all of this is achievable no matter where you were when you started this book. Some of these steps you take might be very difficult for you, but I am convinced they will be extremely award-winning if your life has been exactly through those steps that might take longer, and you might even need to revisit a few of them. But if you stick with it, I'm completely sure that you're going to discover the best version of yourself, and version you were meant to be. Congratulations on getting to this point. You're going to love being the greatest you. As I tell my followers at the end of Recover Single Message, it starts with you. It's rehab time. Let's get it on. That is the end of this book. You did your rehab. So go out there and be the greatest you. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you enjoyed this. I have been reading this book for a while, so let's get it on. Until next time. Bye, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.